life this week? I seem to recall there was some Facebook post about something. I don't remember.
I was sick for most of the week.
Is that what it was? I don't know.
So
Okay.
that's not
Maybe it
very.
was the hair. I don't know. It could have been the purple
The
hair.
hair was today. The hair
Oh, then it wasn't this
purple
Facebook.
as of today.
Yeah, I did mine as well, but you just can't see it. It's very blue.
Stunning.
Oh,
I dye mine gray, you know.
you do, yeah. Otherwise, I know that gingy red that.
Makes me look more distinguished.
Huh. I
Wow,
just
two Delisles on Zoom or three.
Hmm.
Mike, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good.
John, good win today.
They did. Not the world's greatest game, but a win is a win. You take it when you can. Same
Yeah,
for your team, I guess.
yeah, I couldn't watch it because it was on a different channel.
Ah,
Mm.
It looked like a pretty miserable game.
we
And there are
suffer
the
the same
Jaffies.
fate as soccer fans.
Yeah,
Are those Hanukkah pajamas? Hanukkah pajamas? Those are awesome. Very cool. Okay, everyone. Well, I think we're here. Paloma, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. You're rocking your '60s modster black turtleneck. I like that. Very
Sure am.
very cool. Okay, why don't we begin our Havdalah with some music?
Awesome. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד. 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 הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שברחים גם יחד.
Paloma, that was terrific. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. And there's Annette. Annette's there with Max. Max looks like he just got out of the bath. Nice and clean. That's terrific. Well, I have a story for us tonight about our Torah portion. Does anybody know what book of the Torah we started today? Did we cover that in Tat Shabbat at all? Anybody know? Do you think it was the first book? Did we start the first book? Or maybe the second book? The second book of the Torah, which is in Hebrew it's called Shemot, which means names, and in English it's called Exodus. And one of the most, I don't know, famous characters in the entire Torah we get introduced to in this week's story. Who is the most famous person in the entire Torah? Anybody know? It's not Rabbi Dan or Rabbi Brown. We're not in the Torah. Moses. Moses is the most, right, of course, it could have been Moses. There we go. Moses is the most famous person in the entire Torah. Hi, Pearl. Glad you could join us. And I wanted to tell you a story about how Moses became so famous. How Moses became Moses. So, according to this story, it's a legend. When Moses was a baby, he was raised in Pharaoh's palace. Pharaoh is the king of Egypt. He was raised in Pharaoh's palace, and very often Pharaoh would bring Moses as a baby to sit on his lap, just like some of you are sitting on your parents' lap right now. And one day, Moses was sitting on Pharaoh's lap, and everybody was oohing and awing and cooing over Moses and how cute he was. And then Moses reached for Pharaoh's crown on his head. And all the advisors standing around Pharaoh said, "Whoa, look out, watch out for this kid." And they said, "Pharaoh, you know, Moses just reached for your crown." And Pharaoh said, "He's a baby, he doesn't know what he's doing." And they said, "No, we think he does. And because he reached for your crown, he's going to one day want to be king instead of you. One day Moses is going to want to be Pharaoh." Pharaoh said, "Nah, no way. He's just a sweet little kid. He doesn't want to be Pharaoh." And they said, "Yes, we think this is a prophecy. We think this is a prediction of the future. And we have a test to find out." And Pharaoh said, "I don't think that's what Moses is going to do, but you've been good advisors to me, so let me hear your test." And so they said, "We're going to test to see if Moses really wants all of the jewels and the wealth and all of the prestige that comes with being the king of Egypt, being the Pharaoh, or if he was just reaching out for shiny objects." So to devise this test, they put 2 bowls on the floor. In one bowl, they put bright, shiny red rubies. Rubies are like red diamonds. They're very, very special and expensive stones. Very, very precious. And in another bowl, they put bright, hot, like charcoals, like you'd find inside of a barbecue or at the end of a campfire, glowing just as red as the rubies, but clearly dangerous, right? Would we ever touch fire? No. And so these were glowing rocks, essentially, that were as hot as fire. And they put Moses on the ground, and there were these 2 bowls on either side. And Moses started to crawl. And the advisors said, "Now, Pharaoh, you watch. If he reaches for the jewels, that means he wants your crown. He wants all your wealth. But if he reaches for the coals, the hot, bright ember and burning coals, then he was just going for shiny objects, as most kids would do." So Moses started to crawl, and he started to crawl towards the rubies, towards the shiny stones, the precious, valuable stones. And just then, a wind came into the palace, and it pushed Moses and his hand towards the burning coals. And Moses reached out his hand, and he touched the coals and not the rubies. Now, what happens if you touch something hot? What's the first thing you do? You go, "Ow," right? And then you put your hand to your mouth. Well, that's exactly what Moses did. He screamed out in pain, as everybody would, and he put his fingers to his mouth, and his hand was so hot, it burned his tongue, it burned his lips. And from that time on, for the rest of his life, whenever Moses spoke, he spoke with what they say is impeded speech. He spoke with a bit of a lisp. He couldn't quite form the words because he had burned his tongue. If you ever burned your tongue on soup or hot chocolate, it was like that all the time for Moses. But because of that wind, that Ruach Elohim, that breeze from God, the divine wind, Moses didn't reach for the rubies. He reached for the bright, shiny, and hot coals. And the advisors said, "Oh, okay, he's just a kid. He doesn't want to be Pharaoh and take all your jewels. He's just reaching for shiny things." And because of that miracle, Moses was allowed to grow up to be Moses. And Pharaoh didn't fear Moses. And that allowed Moses to become very, very important in Egypt, and ultimately to be in a position where he could save the Jewish people. And that's a story. I'm not going to say it's a true story, but it's a story. The end. Had any of you ever heard that story before? It's an old midrash. Yeah, it goes way, way back. Thank you, Max. I appreciate the clapping.
It's true. It's true. I was there.
Yeah, Mark was there. Well, you would know that.
I'm old enough to be there.
Okay, well, let's do some Havdalah. I've got my Kiddush cup. Do you have a Kiddush cup? I've got my candle, but maybe I should use a real one, huh? Should I use a real one? Okay. I've got matches, and I've got bisamim, the sweet-smelling cloves. So, I'm going to light. Paloma's going to sing.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la la, ya la ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la
המבדיל בין קודש לחול, הטוטנו עם חול, זרנו בכספנו, ירבך חול, וכוכבים בלילה. שבוע טוב.
שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב, שבוע טוב. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Shavua tov, 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 Shavua tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagilati, Bima Be'amenu, Yavalenu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagilati.
That was fantastic, Paloma. Thank you so much. That was great. Oh, it's so good to see you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Just a quick announcement from the synagogue. Watch your inbox, your email inbox, for 2 emails that are coming out at the beginning of next week. One email about our evening honoring Cantor Tausig, as we say, Lehitraot, to her on February 27th, as she's moving to Qualicum Beach on Vancouver Island, as you know. And then a second email that's going to detail what our process is going to be for our cantorial search process, I guess. So watch your inbox for those. Number of programs coming up and more to follow soon. We don't want to overload you with information the first week back from the new year, but in the next week or so, you'll start to hear about our calendar of offerings and activities. We're going to start another film series. We've got some lectures and classes going on, so look forward to those things. Sisterhood Shabbat is coming up, so much to look forward to. Anybody got anything they want to ask, say, or share? Okay. Shavua Tov, everyone. Be well, stay safe, stay home.
Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
Shavua tov.
Bye.
This works, sweetie.